budget!
Still budget all week.
Yes, we have to.
Week. Everybody very excited about the budget.
We have to do that.
Yeah.
Because there's not much for us.
Yeah. Like I said, my electricity bill's coming up, but to be honest, I never really understood this thing of subsidizing electricity when you want people to use less. If people pay less, they'll use more. So, even though I'm going to be paying more, I can't complain all that much.
There's one way.
Yeah.
You can pay the same amount.
Yeah.
Even if you no longer have the electricity allowance.
Right.
Is that you use more energy savings?
Yeah, of course, and that's
equipment, appliances, or just do not work that late.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you that
sleep early.
I got
save electricity.
I got 4 women in my house that consume electricity, but when the bill comes, it's just my wife and I that pay it. So
tell them to save.
The 2 that spend the least amount of time at home are the ones that don't pay. They're the ones that pay, and the other 3 are the ones that use. So
I agree with you.
It's time for me to turn into my father. Turn that light off. Close that refrigerator door.
Yes.
Come on, kids.
Or just create something called a blackout at 10. Blackout at 10.
That's how I get my girls to go to bed. All right, but seriously, okay, so talking about the budget, what else have we got? So in our last segment, we talked about some things for taxpayers, small stuff. One of the other small things that we didn't really know which way it was going to go was the whole tobacco thing. I mean, you had the people that were saying, we need to bump this up to $100 a pack. Yeah, I mean, it was like, what, $4 a pack?
Plus $4?
Plus $4. So the DAB, big victory for them. I mean, the DAB is going to go to their base and say, we won this one for you. But I think a big part of it was that the government finally understood that if you have high taxes, you get smuggling.
You kind of barely match the
inflation. Yeah. We're on the same wavelength on this one. So big victory for the DAB.
I mean, I have some friends who really didn't care about that $4 raise. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's inflation. So that's big win, DAB. And but I think the government also got the message that high taxes means smuggling, which means more illicit cigarettes going to kids, right? Because you can't control. You buy 7-Eleven, you got a 12-year-old walking in, 7-Eleven guy's going to be like, not worth losing my job over. Get out. But of course, the triad's selling them. They don't care. So probably the right move by the government on there. What else is the government up to? iBonds. I is not for, since we're on inflation, the I is not for internet in this case. The I is for inflation. The government's bringing back the iBonds. Hong Kongers have not typically been big bond buyers, but their previous iBond issue was popular. Yeah, they're bringing it back. And 3 years,
you know what?
Inflation, $10 billion.
I think John Tsang wants to make the iBonds his legacy.
Yeah, that could be a part of his legacy.
So it is something invented by him, I for invention.
Yeah. So there's that. A lot of money going to spending on hospitals, new hospitals being built, older hospitals being developed, redeveloped. So there's some good stuff in the budget there. But one other little thing that kind of got in there, I think most of the media didn't really pick up on or understand, was they talked about making government data available through the internet. Now, a lot of that government data is available through the internet. The part most of the media didn't really understand, machine readable. Okay, and what that means is like a lot of data comes out now, but it's on PDF. You can't do anything with it. But if it's machine readable, you can create programs that can go through every day, search it, pull information out, process it, present it. And that's when you start to get more transparency.
That's the I for internet.
Yeah, well, there's another I for internet.
Then you have to create a bond that the data can connect it to the internet.
You could do that now. That would be possible if they do what he said was going to do. But I mean, for the IT community, they'll start to pick up on this in the next couple of days, and I think they'll be very excited about that because they've been asking for this for a long time.
Big data, data mining,
machine readable data. That's the key. That's the key. So. I guess we'll finish talking about the budget, talking about when you talked about John Tsang's legacy. Because he's been warning about out-of-control spending, but on the other hand, he's got powers on the other side of government that are saying they want to dramatically ramp up spending on things like welfare, money for the elderly. There's a big tension there, and I don't know if he's going to be able to resolve it, so he might, he's been on the job for a long time. It might be his time to go to the international stage, leave the financial secretary position. If we don't see how these, he keeps warning we can't spend so much, but then he keeps having to spend more. If that tension can't be resolved in the next year, I wouldn't be surprised to see him change.
He goes as far as we might have structural deficit. In 7 years.
Yeah, which is a fair warning.
Which is the next term of the chief executive and his or her administration.
Yeah, and I think he doesn't want that to be his legacy. So he's warning about it now. Because
does that mean that he wants to run?
Oh, I don't know. Two things I know from observing international politics. Yeah. Number one is you can quickly turn a surplus into a structural deficit, and it's much harder to change. It's happened in Canada. I've seen it happen in provinces in Canada, in American states. In Britain, you get a surplus for a few years. Everyone thinks that's normal, and then they ruin it. The second thing is that...
Well, just remember what Bill Clinton has left for the Bush administration.
Yeah. And they turned around so...
And then Bill Clinton has so much reserve, and then, boom!
Yeah. I don't know if he ever got to reserve, but it certainly was running a surplus, and then they just wiped it out, and I've seen other places do it. The second thing is brilliant finance ministers almost never perform well as the leader. I can't think of one. In Canada we had Paul Martin, great finance minister, brilliant, went to the top job without
someone got Donald Tsang.
He wasn't so bad. People are looking back now and thinking, hey, maybe Donald wasn't so bad. He went on a little bit of a sour note, but yeah, that's one of the better examples, from Hong Kong. I would say that's one of the best ones you can think of, actually, globally. Rarely, like Gordon Brown, what a disaster. I mean, it rarely ends well. Donald Tsang's probably one of the better examples.
All right.
So John Tsang, but I could see him going to the international stage and doing a great job. I think he'd be marvelous there.
Legacy.
Like Margaret.
For keyword. Yeah. For today.
Legacy. All right. Budgets and legacies.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Vincent.
Thank you.
Cheers.